Greetings, fellow plebeians and patricians. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Pompeii, the Legacy. Episode 2, Supporting the War Effort of Rome. So construct a Shrine of Fortuna to restore faith and bring peace to the citizens. That would be in the Religion tab. And here it is. It does, and this employs a plebeian, obviously, not a slave. And let's place it here and build a road for it. Right on the road of Fortuna. Research to sharp saw is done, so lumber is being boosted, and now I'm doing lumber chain to boost forestry and lumber for adjacency bonuses. And I'll demonstrate that you can see the adjacency bonuses when you place a building down as well. The game is warning me that I need more slaves, but that's just because I have a temporary harvest site for stone up here. So I'm going to be ignoring that warning. So now my lumber mill is producing a lot more lumber, 33, and then even my forces camp output. What I'll do is, as soon as I have the stone for it, I'll upgrade this as well, for its logging area expansion tier 2. Done. Right. At this point, it might actually be a good idea for me to add some additional slave homes, because I am adding a lot of industries to our small town, and we want to outpace it. But I'm producing more wood than I am using, and producing more lumber than I am using. And it's just important to always just keep them in balance, because if you run in any deficits, it takes a while to like spin up those industries to actually catch up to what you need. You can do it through trade, but with that said, you start off with only a few. You start off not being able to trade at all, and then even when you can trade, it doesn't necessarily mean you can import everything you want.
To manage and sustain production. Construct more insulae to attract new residents. Now that the workers are calm and production is stable, it's time to take the next step. Begin researching the architect's office so we can ensure the safety and stability of all future construction projects. Once the research is complete, we'll build it immediately.
So it wants me to build another insula because we need more plebeians. Free plebes. And then it also wants me to research the architect's office. So we go back to governance, and the architect is right here. And what this does is it maintains your buildings. So if you look at building stability, building stability will decrease over time, and your architect's office will keep the buildings up to 100% so that they don't crumble or burn down or whatever, that they stay in good repair. And that's what we're doing next. Okay, that research is done. And in the governments tab, you have the architect's office. It hires plebeians. And before I actually go ahead and build the architect's office, I'm going to wait for the insula to be built, because I don't really have the manpower to put people in there. I'm also going to research the stone gatherer, which increases stone collection from natural deposits in the wilderness. I've been doing a whole lot of that, and I expect to be doing more of it, so we might as well get that technology. I'm also going to upgrade the prefecture a little bit to cover these industries better. So now my fire coverage is over every single building that I've built so far.
We're
hey,
running
Sakura, thank you
short
for
on slave labor. Build more shelters so the city can accommodate additional workforce.
All right, let's also get enhanced carts to have the carrier carts move a little bit faster on our roads. And once the slave house and the plebe house is done, we'll drop the architect's building. So the architect's building, just like the prefecture, has a sphere of influence coverage. And this sphere of influence coverage can be increased by upgrading it. So it doesn't need to cover every single building right now. What I'll do is I'll place it here once the plebeian house is built. Don't worry. No rush. We're just watching you. There we go. More plebeians will move in. And I'm going to stick the architect's house right here. Meaning I'll have a road that goes east for all the insulas. Alright, wood, stone, and lumber all in check. Slave labor looks pretty good. I don't have any natural stone deposits close enough for me to harvest them. Not that we're lacking stone at the moment. Taking a look at the governance tab. Let's also get ruins salvaging. So that if I do end up building a depot, like let's say to the east, I'll be able to salvage the ruins for higher quality stones and more stones as a result of that research. It's not necessary, but it can be helpful. Ooh, look at that. You had the priestess getting carried around. Fancy. Alright, well expansion. Unlock the knowledge to dig deeper wells and allowing a larger area to be supplied with fresh water. Sounds good to me. We'll get that as well. Early game, your research options are relatively inexpensive. You know, like 80 gold or whatever. Later on, they get a lot pricier. 500 gold, 600 gold, so on and so forth, and they get even pricier up to thousands. So early game, you can just kind of research whatever you want, but eventually that won't stay true forever as things get more expensive as the time goes on. Unless you're bringing in, like, raking in lots of tax money.
Governor, we have a visitor. Our people may have shelter and work, but Pompeii is more than just a muddy settlement with quarries. If we are to restore its former glory, we must bring life back to its streets.
Right now, we barter with whatever little we have. But imagine a proper marketplace. A place where traders bring goods from afar, where people gather, converse, and prosper.
You're right. We're not just rebuilding ruins. We are rebuilding a city. A marketplace would do more than provide goods. It would be a symbol of growth and civilization.
Research and develop a marketplace. All right. One thing I kind of wish the game would do, which it does not, is I wish you could go to the marketplace. In this case, it's a storage and supply building. I wish you could, like, click it and have it show you the research is, because every now and then it will ask me to, like, research something, and it's not obvious even how to get it. So in this case, I need to research gravel road and then marketplace. So I got those queued up. So the architecture office is as large as it can be. It doesn't fully cover the mines and quarry, but I think once I have the materials to upgrade it yet again, it will. So the building stability of this quarry will degrade over time, and I'll just have to keep an eye on the stuff that's built up that way. All right, taking a look at our food. We need to produce some more food again. So let's get another hunter. And now we're producing 60, consuming 56. And I'll just go ahead and get the last gatherer and last hunter. So it's 65. So as soon as we exceed 65 units of food consumed, we'll need to build another one. Or research some sort of upgrade to it.
There's plenty of fish in the waters near Pompeii, Governor. Best not waste it. Build a fishing hut and reap the sea's bounty.
I'm not going to be building fishing just yet. We're not hurting for food just yet. So the gravel roads master allows you to place gravel roads, which are faster movement speed than the dirt ones, at the cost of stone. which is fine by me. And I'll even do that for the double road. So now the center spine of our city has a gravel road instead of a dirt one for better movement speed. All right, the research for the marketplace is done. So let's go into the goods, go to the marketplace, and place said marketplace. I'm going to place it here. And then I'm also going to enclose the marketplace with gravel roads as well. No fishing? I might end up fishing. Who knows? As long as it's not me, the individual, doing the fishing, but like some NPC that I can... well, they'd be a slave too, right? Maybe I'll have my slaves fish for me. That is, that's agreeable, whereas fishing myself, no.
There aren't enough plebeians to manage and sustain production. Construct more insulae to attract new residents.
Sir,
Mother! Sister! You're finally here!
It's good to be home, though home still needs a lot of work.
Pompeii looks so different from Rome. It's smaller, it smells like smoke, and feels a bit rough.
Speaking of rough, have you seen the state of the people here? They look like they've been living in the wild.
They have been busy rebuilding the city.
That may be. But if we want to restore Pompeii's dignity, we should start with something simple, like a barber shop. Proper grooming is the mark of civilization.
proper grooming, you say? I guess I'm just not civilized. Alright, so in health and hygiene, interestingly, the barbershop is a place for us to build. That's what it wants us to build. The caveat, of course, is I don't really have enough plebeians for it at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build 2 insula rather than just the 1. I'm going to space them out a little bit with a little bit of a... You know what? Actually, let's put more space. So I'm going to build a gravel road here. Up to there. And then I'm going to leave space in between for, like, beauty objects later on. Statues and parks and the like. Although that's not a lot of space, but whatever. And then I'll start another insula over here. It's also worth noting that buildings like shelters and insulas can be upgraded, but they require the associated research to do so first. So eventually you can have a really dense city, but initially you'll have to have it sprawling. So now that we have some free plebes, here is the barber shop. All right, research. Analyze the benefits of strategic placing between gatherers and huntings. So if we did that, we would grant production bonuses to facilities when built in proximity. Oh, I had promised to do this, but all right, let me show you. So here, as you can see, if we have the sawmill close to the forester, see, production bonus 10%. And that is a result of its sphere of influence. So because I clustered my hunter and gatherer together, they will benefit as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually show the efficiency here. Like, this is a bit of a lie, because this thing is more efficient than 100%. But whatever. Alright, so food production beginner. Boost food production and efficiency across all facilities, and then Wildwood cooperation I'll get next. You like that it requires close and not immediately adjacent? Yes, I agree. That way there's some wiggle room. It's a very modest city so far, but it's not hideous. I'll even put in a small park section there. Taking a look at our food production, it has fallen behind. So, poll for you guys. Should I fish? There you go. Democracy, baby.
Governor,
No,
the
or
city grows by
no?
the day. Markets are thriving, craftsmen work tirelessly, and people settle into their homes. But where do they gather to shape the future? Where do merchants strike deals and orators stir the crowds?
They meet in the streets. It is unworthy of a Roman city.
Exactly. In Rome, the Forum is not just a place, it is the heart of the empire. Pompeii must have its own Forum, Governor. Without it, we are merely a collection of homes and workshops, not a city.
Oh, perhaps that's why our home has turned into a hall of debates and complaints. Even the hunter came this morning seeking your judgment on the price of his goods.
This cannot go on. We need order, structure. A place where people come together, not in chaos, but with purpose. A forum, yes, but not just any forum. A monumental forum worthy of Pompeii's rebirth. A place that reminds every citizen we are not just survivors, we are Romans.
Research and develop the forum. And also, you guys wanted me to get fishing. I am so disappointed, but I'll do it. So after we finish the fish tech, I'll research the forum tech. Let's go ahead and get a few more slaves up in here. From here on out, I'm just gonna call my slaves unpaid interns. You know, out of respect for their yeah. We'll get some more unpaid interns. But here's the barbershop, and we can increase the barbershop's sphere of influence to cover the slave homes, although I don't believe they really care about the benefits of a barbershop, because it's for like citizens only. All right, we did just get fishing tech. Now the research that I put into both the production beginner and wildwood cooperation has raised our food production up to 75, so it's outpacing our consumption, but really not by much. But here again, this is the bonus, 10% bonus. As you can see, it's a smaller circle, but the 10% bonus of putting these production facilities together. So I'm massively disappointed in you
fishing
guys.
hut must rest partly on land, partly in the water. You may need to rotate it to find the perfect spot on the shore.
Thanks. So you're saying I can't fish in the mountains? Cool. I'm glad you straightened me out. I was trying to cast my lands into the open fields and meadows, but I just kept fishing up worms. I don't know what was going on. It will, of course, be a new variety of food, you know, so I guess there's a benefit. All right, forum's almost done. Let's see. Let's get advanced fishing after regular fishing. Let's torment me and have me do more fishing. No thanks, but I'm not sure I have a vote in this. I didn't vote, to be fair. All right, so we got forum. So if we go to the government tab, we have the forum. And I'm going to go ahead and put the forum right across the street from the city hall, so that my my politicians can listen to the squabbles for themselves. You know, democracy. Grade A, unadulterated democracy. We'll call it super democracy. There we go. So forum's coming in. And the forum, in terms of what it actually does, it doesn't. it's just a building as a building. I guess you can kind of host like fairs and the like, but you usually do that in your religious buildings by offering sacrifice to your shrines. So like, I'm not 100% sure it really matters where you put the forum, but I figure right next to my city hall makes as much sense as any other location. Yeah. Pretty soon we're going to need to ramp up our lumber. We're producing 33 using 28. In fact, I'm going to upgrade the sawmill right
to
now.
Maximus, governor of Pompeii. By order of Emperor Trajan, you are to depart immediately for Dacia. You will report to the Roman military base at Nicopolis ad Istrum, where His Imperial Majesty awaits your arrival. You are to join Apollodorus of Damascus, the Emperor's chief engineer, in preparations for the construction of a great bridge over the Danube. The Emperor values your military experience from past campaigns in Pannonia, and believes your knowledge will be invaluable in securing this vital undertaking. Your presence will aid in ensuring the bridge's completion and maintaining stability on Rome's frontier. Additionally, the Emperor commands you to bring 200 units of fine Roman furniture to supply and furnish the military base at Nicopolis ad Istrum. To supply this effort, His Imperial Majesty grants you 1,000 denarii as an incentive. The campaign demands not only strength, but also the comforts befitting Rome's legions. Do not delay, Governor. The Emperor trusts in your abilities and awaits your arrival. Imperial command by order of Emperor Trajan.
Okay, so we have to research a carpenter's workshop and construct it. All the more reason to ramp up lumber production. So I'm going to upgrade my sawmill yet again. I am going to also upgrade my forces camp. So now we are producing 50 wood instead of like 33, and producing 33, 50 lumber rather, and then 33 wood using 30. So we're still in the net positive for that stuff. And then the next thing it wants me to research is carpenter workshop. So the carpenter workshop allows us to make furniture, and furniture is a basic good. So at the moment, I have no need of basic goods. It's like too early in the game, but later on, my plebeians will require basic goods to stay happy. Basic goods could be pottery, clothes, furniture, dishes, salt, roses, and then later on, luxury goods as well. And here's a lovely forum. Look at them discussing stuff. I would not want to be the one responsible for changing out those torches. So this is the full sphere of influence of a forester's camp. For reference, this is like the max area. And yeah, it does cover like a lot of the buildings, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to be producing plenty of wood, even if some of the landmass is like built up upon. You just wouldn't want to have these in the middle of your city. But as long as they're on the outskirts, it's fine. Carpenter's workshop is almost done. And then before we actually build this thing, we have Wildwood Collector. It enhances wood harvesting from freely growing trees in the wilderness, providing an additional 10% wood collection. Let's see if there's a Carpenter Workshop synergy later on. I am not sure that there is, which means I can build this kind of like wherever. Yeah, I'll build it wherever. Oh, look at these little Praetorians. Alright, research is complete. Perfect. So in the basic goods production, we go to Carpenter Workshop. And we're going to want the Carpenter Workshop. So what I'm planning on doing is having like a workers district. So let's plan that from like broad perspective doing it now. So let's run a gravel road here, and then off of maybe, ooh. So before I go any further, let's look at soil fertility. The land that is green is going to be arable, farmable land. So I don't want to plan my workshops on too much of the arable land, because it will limit my agriculture later on. And that's in this this overlay here. So you have like grids. You've got a mining overlay of where you can mine. So here you can see the areas that are suitable for mining. You've got water overlays for like pump jacks when you're making aqueducts and the like. So some things like gathering sand and clay can only really be done at the river's edge. So if I'm making pottery or clay bricks, obviously that industry is going to have to be down by the river. But things like furniture doesn't really need to. So to my larger point, when planning out these industries, I think what I'll do is I will run this gravel road out west and then build my carpenter workshop out this way, away from the homes, but inside of the architectural office's sphere of influence, so the buildings are maintained. And then, of course, pair this with a depot. Research. Let's get Wildwood Collector. So we need to make 200 units of furniture. Now, it might be tempting to like ramp up your carpenter to a high level to make a lot of furniture quickly. The problem that you will run into if you do that is in the game's, I think it's options. I forget exactly where it is. The amount of people that you have here, it will automatically fill with the entire workforce. So my point is, if I like massively upgraded this carpenter's workshop to be able to fulfill the 200 units of furniture quickly, once I was done, I would then be churning out furniture like crazy. And unless I have an active trade partner for that furniture, it's just going to start piling up in my stockpiles and taking up room, and then reminding me constantly, you're running out of room, you're running out of room, you're running out of room. So to fulfill these quests, sometimes it's not smart to do that. And if you want to do that, what you do is you build the object and then you break it down when it's done. It does cost you a few extra denarii to like do it that way, but at least you're not going to be saddled with like an industry that is too big for your city. I just forget where the automatic employment thing is. I've like found it once and then never again. It's in one of the options, I think. Thought it was in miscellaneous. Well, whatever. Alright. Taking a look at our food. It's fine. Ha! No one's even eating the fish. Yeah, that's right. I knew it. It's actually probably not true. It's just not stockpiling because they're eating it so quickly. That's maybe a better way to interpret that number. Alright. Here's the carpentry workshop. It is consuming lumber and making furniture. It makes 18 furniture per week or 864 furniture per year. And it's really only a matter of time until I have the furniture be able to offer it to the Emperor's military base. Additionally, and this isn't true now, but it will be true later on, my insula, my plebeians, aren't requiring furniture as an input. Later on, the Emperor might ask for something like meat. And if I'm consuming the meat too quickly, I won't be able to actually offer it up to the Emperor. And in cases like that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to restrict the consumption of said good so that you can actually build up a stockpile. So setting like a trade quantity or a limit or something to prevent people from consuming that thing so that you can stockpile it for the quest. But in this case, I don't really need to do that because no one's even using the furniture otherwise.
Governor, the Emperor does not issue requests. He gives orders. The furniture for his military base must be gathered without delay. Every moment wasted is an insult to His Majesty's expectations.
Wanted me to upgrade the workshop by 1. Okay. We're almost half done with the supply. My food balance looks fine. Wood's fine. Lumber's fine. Although I'm getting pretty close to that 50 mark. And there's no more upgrades to the sawmill, so I would require a secondary sawmill. Stone is fine. I'm only using 6. What is even using stone? What industry uses stone? Oh, my architect's office for repairs. That's right. Okay, we've got 3/4 of it. Getting the last of it. Alright, back to research. The tutorial will tell me to do these things, so I don't want to do them ahead of time. But we'll get the input optimization basic, which is to improve the efficiency, reducing the input cost by 5%. There's a lot of, like, sort of passive blanket bonuses that are really nice to have.
The
And there it
Emperor
is.
calls, and duty leads me to Dacia. But this city is far from finished, and its people still need guidance. I leave its future in your hands.
Pompeii will endure, as it always has. I will see to its growth, as you would.
And I will uphold the order you have built. The people will not be without leadership.
They will not stand alone, Governor. I will remain at their side, offering counsel and ensuring the city stays on course. Your vision will not falter in your absence.
Then I leave with a steady heart. Take care of each other and of Pompeii. When I return, I expect to see a city even greater than the one I leave behind today.
And we expect to see you return whole, not just in honor, but in body as well. Be careful.
May the gods watch over your journey, Father.
Alright, he's off to war.
With the war draining supplies, traders are bringing less grain by the day. Soon, even the wealthiest will struggle to find bread. We cannot afford to wait. Pompeii must secure its own food supply.
I had hoped we would have more time. But you are right. We cannot rely on trade alone. What do you suggest?
Wheat, domina, the foundation of every Roman meal. If we plant now, we can ensure the city's survival before shortages grow worse.
My father left the city in our hands. We will not fail him. I will find the best land, gather the workers, and secure the wheat. We begin at once.
Alright, wants me to build a grain field. So, opening up this overlay again, this is where the arable land is. And there's a huge swath of it off to the east. And that's where I'm going to center my my agriculture. So I'm going to build like a gravel road that goes a little diagonally that follows the fertility. So I know to build my farms north of the road and the fields south of the road. It'll make a little bit more sense soon.
Look for fertile land. Use the overlay system to find the best spots.
Alright, so here's how you do it. We'll plop a grain field. In this case, I'm going to put it here. And this is just the building that they work out of. This is not where the fields are. So I'm putting the grain field where it is not fertile, but the fields themselves will be where it is fertile. My people are starting to consume furniture, as you can see. So the variety of basic goods needed is 1, and we're producing 27, we're consuming 28. It's basically even, more or less. So we're not going to have any major shortages, but now furniture is a consumed good. As far as food goes, we're still in the black, 95 over 85, so it's okay. But a farm field will certainly help with that. So back into the governance tab, we have field guardians. Implementing hunting patrols to protect the grain fields from wildlife. Reducing crop losses and increasing yield by 10%. Sure, let's get that. And then let's also research the granary. So the granary is a place for long-term stability of grain. And we're going to want that as well.
You need to add farming plots to your grain field. Open the Fields panel and click Add Field to start growing crops.
So, in your grain field, you can lay out the crops. Like this. Oh, is it going to require me to have adjacency? I didn't think it did. I might need to change my layout a little bit then. Yeah, okay, it is. Okay,
Strange,
in that case...
isn't it? Just as
I'll
your
fix
husband leaves, the flow of goods slows to a trickle. No pottery, no furniture. The people are left wanting. A city without comfort is a city of unrest, Domina.
Is this your doing, Sula?
I am but a humble observer of Roman politics. Earning the Emperor's favor is one thing, but winning over the plebeians, that is a battle you will have to fight yourself.
A battle? No, Sula. This is manipulation. You seek to break the people's trust.
Break trust? No, no. I simply let nature take its course. If Pompeii cannot provide for its own, the people will find leaders who can. But first, I will enjoy watching you struggle.
He is gone, but his shadow lingers. If we do not act, unrest will take hold. A pottery workshop will allow us to provide what the people lack.
We must act now. Our people will have what they need, as they always have.
Okay, I'm going to fix the farm fields before I work on the pottery production chain, but what I can do is I can cancel some of the research that I don't necessarily need immediately. So it wants me to get a charcoal burner, a clay pit, and pottery workshops. So let's take a look. A clay pit, a charcoal burner, and a pottery workshop are all sort of in a row. And we're going to need to supply pottery to the city as a basic good to quell unrest, let's call it. All right. And as I mentioned before, clay is gathered in where the water overlay exists. So if we want clay, we're gonna have to pull it from the river banks. So I can either go up here to this riverbank or down here to this one. Either way, we're likely to fall out. Well, right there might be within the sphere of influence of the architect's office, and that's probably where I'll try to focus the clay. But I think if I upgraded the architect's office with tools later on, this area will be included as well. So I might not need to try to like min-max it, because we still have enough building stability for a quarry, which is outside of the influence, and also the fishing hut outside of the influence that is not going to like get disrupted immediately. Thank you for tuning in to Pompeii the Legacy, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Roman citizens.